Hello friends, welcome to Global Online University. Friends, I am Bahubali Desai. Friends, this is our lecture number 12 on crash course economics. Okay friends, in this video we are going to solve MS Set 2020 question paper. We are solving all the 100 questions here. And friends, as you all know, we have started a crash course for UGC NET and other states set in economics. These are helpful for KSET and also for MS Set and also for Kerala Set. Okay friends, here we are going to provide you 20 mock tests for paper 2 economics. Each test will be having 100 MCQs here. If you attend these 20 tests, you will be prepared for 2000 MCQs here. For all the question you will get answers and also with explanation. And for all the 20 tests you can download solution PDF with answers, and we are also providing notes on all the 10 units. These notes are very helpful to boost your preparation. And also friends, we are trying to provide you 1000 MCQs on each topic. Yes, it means you will get 100 MCQs on each unit. We will provide you total. We will get 1000 MCQs here. So total we will be prepared for 3000 MCQs here in our 20 test and this PDF. And also we are going to cover all the previous year questions in our tests. So and very detailed explanation will be provided for previous year questions. And this crash course costs only $9.99. If you are already there in our paper 1 preparation, then you will also get discount here. Okay, then friends, if you want to join for this crash course, you can contact this number. The numbers are displayed on your screen. You can just send a WhatsApp message also. We will respond you. And friends, you can access our material on Global Online University app and also in our paid WhatsApp group. You can download Global Online University app from Play Store. From there also you can pay, and you can also pay via Google Pay and Paytm and all. And you can access our material in app and also in our WhatsApp group. And friends, if you are having any questions regarding our paper 2 crash course, please feel free to ask us. You can ask your doubts in the comment box, or also you can ask your doubts and any queries in this you can ask by WhatsApp to this number. Yes, this number is having also WhatsApp. You can send your questions to this number. And also friends, we need your suggestions to how can we make this course better. If you have any good suggestions, please comment your suggestions in the comment box, or also you can send your suggestions to this WhatsApp number. So friends, let us move to the questions. Next, paper 2 Maharashtra Set 2021. Yes, here the questions are also there in Marathi. You can stop the video and you can read the questions. Question number 1 is dash utility means that an individual can attach specific values or numbers of utils from consuming each quantity of a good or a basket of good. Option A ordinal, option B marginal, option C cardinal, option D equimarginal. Yes, here the right answer is option C cardinal utility, because in cardinal utility analysis we are going to measure the utility in numbers, and in ordinal utility analysis we are going to measure the utility by assigning the grades, or by assigning the grades or giving ranks. So option C cardinal is the right answer. Question number 2, the following diagram typically represents of dash of dash production function. Option A total cost and non-linear, option B total fixed cost non-linear, option C total cost linear, option D total fixed cost non-linear. Yes friends, if you see this diagram, this level of cost is known as the fixed cost. Yes, this is TFC, and this increasing cost, this will show TVC, and if you add both we will get the curve TC. So it is a TC curve, so we can eliminate option B and option D. And this curve is upward sloping straight line, so it is linear. So here option C is the correct answer. Yes friends, let us move to the question number 3. Dash refers to covering Okay, dash refers to covering of a foreign exchange risk. Yes, option A arbitrage, option B hedging, option C purchasing power parity, option D mint parity. Yes, here the right answer is option C. Hedging is the correct answer because it will cover financial loss, financial loss risk in the foreign exchange market. Yes, question number 4. Dash results when each player adopts the strategy that gives her highest possible payoff if her rival sticks to the strategy she has chosen. Yes, this is related to game theory. Yes, in game theory, players, when the players don't want to move to the other strategy, so it is no, then also they can find equilibrium. That equilibrium is known as the Nash equilibrium. Question number 5. Price set by an authority is called. Yes, here the authority is going to fix the price, not by the market forces. It is known as the transfer fixed administered limit pricing. Yes, it is known as the administered price, and in administered price the prices will be fixed by the government, that is by the authority. Question number 6. Positive net present value, NPV, means that, yes, when NPV is positive, it means that expected return on the project exceeds option A opportunity cost of the funds, option B variable cost of funds, option C fixed cost of funds, option D variable and fixed cost of funds. The right answer is option D, variable and fixed cost of funds. Yes, NPV is positive, it means that it is going to exceed the total cost, that is fixed and variable. Question number 7. Absolute value of the slope of the production possibility frontier at any point. Yes, option A is equal to the marginal rate of transformation. Option B is equal to the MRS. So MRS will arise in the indifference curve. MRS is equal to MRT. So this is also wrong. Marginal rate of substitution. Yes, all these three are wrong here. Only option A is the correct answer. Is equal to the MRT. Yes, I hope you know about the production possibility curve. Yes, this curve is known as the production possibility curve. Yes, it shows okay, here the points which are there on the production possibility curve are equal to the MRT, and if a producer wants to produce one extra unit of a good, he has to reduce the production of the other. This is known as the marginal rate of transformation ratio. This ratio is known as the opportunity cost, because if a producer wants to produce one extra good, he has to reduce the production of the other good. Yes, question number 8. The first theorem of welfare economics states that a competitive equilibrium is Pareto efficient. A competitive equilibrium may be Pareto efficient. Option C, a competitive equilibrium may not be Pareto efficient. Option D, a competitive equilibrium maximizes profit. Yes, here the right answer is option A, a competitive equilibrium is Pareto efficient. Yes, this is according to the first theorem of welfare economics. Competitive equilibrium is Pareto efficient. Yes, question number 9. The first fundamental theory of welfare economics assumes the supply of option A inferior good, option B public good, option C given good, option C common good, option D given good. Yes, here the right answer is option C, common goods is the correct answer. What do you mean by common goods? Common goods are non-excludable. Yes, please remember, common goods are non-excludable, but the goods are rivalrous. Yes, the common goods are non-excludable but rivalrous. For example, public park is an example for the common good. Okay, and these goods are non-excludable, means we can't say others to not to enter the park, and but these goods are rivalrous. It means that imagine there is only one chair is available in the public park and already one person has occupied it. Yes, if you go and enter the market, this chair is not available to you. It means the use of common good by one person will reduce the ability to use other person to use the same good. So it is rivalry. Question number 10, asymmetric information results into, yes, asymmetric information results into option A, market efficiency, adverse selection by consumer, government failure, market success. Yes, here the asymmetric information means one party is having more information, other party is having less information. When you go to buy a second hand goods, the seller is having more information and the buyer is having very less information, and asymmetric information results in adverse selection by consumer. Yes, question number 10, has the quantity of one variable input in production process is increased. Yes, as the quantity of one variable input in a production process is increased with quantities of other inputs remaining constant. Dash first increases, then after reaching a maximum start decreasing and finally becomes negative. Option A, marginal cost of the product. Option B, value of marginal product. Option C, marginal physical product. Option D, marginal revenue product. Yes, this theory is related to only one variable is okay, only one input is variable here. It means this theory is related to short run. Okay, and all other variables are constant. So this theory is related to short run, and this theory is about talking about law of diminishing marginal product. Yes, law of diminishing marginal product is related to short run. Okay, so this curve is a total product curve. This is average product curve. And this is marginal product curve. So yes, according to this theory, marginal product, observe the marginal product curve here. Yes, marginal product first increases. Yes, first increases, then it reaches maximum. Yes, here the marginal product is maximum, then it starts decreasing. Yes, here the marginal product curve is decreasing, and at the end it will become negative. So here the right answer is marginal product or marginal physical product. So option C is the correct answer. Yes, question number 12, to get economy out of a slum, Keynes suggested that increase both taxes and government spending. Option B, increase taxes and reduce government spending. Option C, reduce both taxes and government spending. Option D, reduce taxes and increase government spending. Yes, in case of slum, yes, in case of depression, the government has to reduce the tax. Yes, when the government is going to reduce the tax, the people will get more income, and when they will get more income, the demand will increase. When demand increases, again production increases. When production increases, again employment will increase. So economy will come out from the depression. So in the same way, the government has to reduce the taxes, and also it has to increase the government spending. Yes, when public spending increases, yes, demand, people will get money in their hand, then demand will increase, again production will increase, employment will take place, the economy will come out from the slum. Question number 13, in a circular flow of income, Keynesian equation is obtained when option A, S is equal to I, T is equal to G, B, S plus T plus M is equal to I plus G plus X. Option C, there is no inflation or unemployment. Option D, S is equal to I, M is equal to X. Okay, here the right answer is option B. S plus T plus M is equal to I plus G plus X. And please remember about the circular flow of income. There are only two sectors in circular flow. One is household sector, another one is firm sector. And what household sector is the owner of factors of production, and household sector is going to render the services. It is going to offer the factor service to the firm, and firm will pay factor payments to the household sector, and in return again household sector is going to buy the goods and services from the firm sector. Again firm will give goods and services to the household sector. In this way income will move in between these two sectors. It is known as the circular flow of income. So there is no role of the government here, and here saving is equal to investment. Yes, question number 14. Which of the following ratios best describe GNP depleter? Yes, option A nominal GDP to real GNP. Option B real GNP to nominal GNP. Option C nominal GNP to real GDP. Option D real GNP to real GDP. So these two you can eliminate, because depleter is related to nominal and real. So here the confusion is between only option A and B. So as you know about the GNP depleter, it is the ratio of nominal GNP to real GNP. So it is the ratio of nominal GNP to real GNP. So option A nominal GNP to real GNP is the correct answer. That is nominal GNP divided by real GNP. Yes, question number 15. Demand side unemployment is partly caused by imperfection in labor market, occupational and geographical immobility of factors. Option C demographic changes. Option D a lack of aggregate demand. Yes, as you all know, when demand side unemployment will take place when there is lack of demand in the market. Yes, when demand decreases, what will happen to the production? If demand decreases, production will also decrease. When production decreases, producers will employ less level of labor. Yes, when they appoint very few labor, then the unemployment will take place. That unemployment is known as the demand side unemployment. Question number 16. Which of the following hypothesis says that the young generation saves while the old generation dissaves? Yes, this theory, this is telling that the young people, they are going to save more income, and the old generation, they are going to not save the income. This is related to option A human capital, option B life cycle, option C permanent income, option D Keynesian consumption function. Yes, this theory is related to life cycle hypothesis, and life cycle hypothesis is given by Modigliani. Please remember it. It is given by Modigliani. And permanent income hypothesis is given by Friedman. And according to life cycle hypothesis, here we can explain it with help of the diagram. Okay, this is a consumption curve here. This is income curve. Okay, here what happens up to this point, it represents the age group from 0 to 20, and this area is approximately 40 or 20 to 65, and after this here the age group up to 65. Okay, here what will happen, the below 20 group of people, they won't save, they take loan from the others. So here also this saves will be there. And the young generation from 20 to 65, they are working, and also they are saving more income, and also they are clearing their previous loans. And at the age of 65, people will take retirement, and after retirement their consumption is constant, but this saves the money, they won't save. Yes, they start spending whatever money they have saved in this young generation, they start spending here, so they don't save here. So here in this theory, young generation save. Yes, young generation, they are earning and they are saving more income. Old generation, they won't save, they dissave. So here option B is the correct answer. Question number 17. Which of the following is likely to have negative effect on aggregate consumption? Yes, option A, an increase in expected inflation. Option B, a temporary increase in labor income. Option C, an increase in nominal interest rate. Option a permanent increase in labor income. Yes, an increase in, okay, what is the following likely to have negative effect on aggregate consumption? Yes, when increase in expected inflation. Inflation means the people are having more income, so consumption will also increase. This is wrong. Temporary increase in labor income. When temporary income also increases, consumption will increase. Permanent increase in labor income. If permanent income increases, consumption will increase. When there is increase in nominal interest rate, this is having negative effect on the consumption. So option C is the right answer. Yes, question number 18. The ratio of the change in the output to a change in the autonomous spending that causes the changes in the output is called, yes, option A, marginal propensity to save. Option B, multiplier. Option C, accelerator. Option D, marginal propensity to consume. Yes, the ratio of the change in the output. Yes, the output is changing here due to change in the autonomous spending. Yes, that causes the change in the output. Yes, here the output is going to change due to change in the autonomous spending or initial expenditure. It is known as the, yes, I hope you know, it is known as the multiplier. So option B, multiplier, is the correct answer. And the value of multiplier is dependent on the value of MPC. And also friends, is here sometimes question will arise on the formula. So the multiplier is equal to, formula is K is denoted, multiplier is denoted by K. So multiplier is equal to 1 divided by 1 minus MPC. And also sometimes they will give the MPC or MPS value and they will ask you to find the multiplier value. So that time you can use these formulas. And one more formula is K is equal to 1 divided by MPS. MPC means marginal propensity to consume. MPS means marginal propensity to save. Yes, question number 19. According to monetarism, the demand for money depends upon. Yes, according to monetarism, the demand for money depends upon inflation rate, interest rate on bonds, rate of returns on all assets, money supply. Yes, here the right answer is option C, rate of returns on assets. Yes, according to monetarists, demand for money depends on rate of returns on all assets. Yes, question number 20. The aggregate supply curve, that is AS curve, and aggregate demand curve, that is AD curve, in realistic Keynesian world are: option A, AS fully horizontal, AD downward sloping. Option B, AS horizontal, only fill the employment level, AD downward sloping. Option C, AS vertical, AD upward sloping. Option D, AS is horizontal, AD is vertical. Yes, here the right answer is option B. In reality, according to Keynes, the aggregate supply curve is horizontal and it will fill the employment level, and AD is downward sloping. Yes, the next question is question number 21. The quantity theory of money, yes, QTM theory, implies that given velocity of money, a given percentage change in money supply would cause an equal percentage change in GDP, nominal GDP, a larger percentage change in nominal GDP, an equal percentage change in real GDP, a smaller percentage change in nominal GDP. According to QTM, yes, when money supply in the economy increases, yes, when, for example, when money doubles in the economy, prices will also increase in the same proportion. Yes, so when the money supply increases, prices are increasing in the same proportion. So the GDP, so the nominal GDP, here we are considering only current year prices, so the nominal GDP will also change in the same proportion. So option A, an equal percentage change in GDP, is the right answer. Question number 22. Probability of A union B is, yes, this is according to rule. You have to remember this rule. According A union B means probability of A plus probability of B is minus A probability of A intersection B. So option B is the correct answer. Question number 23. If x1, x2 up to xn is a random sample from a normally distributed population with mean u and variance, and let s square is equal to sigma xi minus x bar square divided by n minus 1, then here just let us move to the answer. The right answer is chi-square test. Here in this condition we are going to use chi-square test. Please remember it. Okay, the next question is question number 24. In a regression model is given here. This is the regression model. Covariance between x and e is not 0. Then OLS estimates are biased and inconsistent. OLS estimates are biased but consistent. OLS estimates are unbiased but inconsistent. OLS estimates cannot be calculated. So here the right answer is option A. OLS estimates are biased and inconsistent. Please remember, if covariance is not equal to 0, yes, if covariance is not equal to 0, then it is inconsistent and biased. Question number 25. A random walk time series is stationary, impossible to analyze, non-stationary, not useful in real world. Yes, a random walk time series, it is always non-stationary. Option C is the correct answer. Yes. Rejecting the null hypothesis, when it is true, it is known as the type 1 error. Yes, when we are rejecting the null hypothesis, when it is true, it is known as the type 1 error, and when we are accepting the hypothesis even though it is false, it is known as the type 2 error. Yes, question number 27. If p is equal to 20 minus 3q is the demand function and the cost function is 3 plus 2q square is cost function, the profit maximizing output is, yes, here the profit maximizing output will be 2. You can calculate it by applying the derivatives. Yes, let y is equal to 3x square minus 6x plus 10. Which value of y minimizes the function? It means here we have to find the minima, and to find minima also we have to apply the derivatives. Yes, we can calculate it later, and here the minima value will be 1. Okay, next 29. A is equal to 2, 3, 1. B is 4, 5, 6. B subsets are the subsets of x 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Which of the following describes A complements intersection B? Yes, this we can calculate. A complements is equal to, yes, how to find the A complements, because every year question will be there on this topic. So let us calculate A complements, how to find. Okay, see, A complements is equal to, see here in A 2, 3, 1 are there, and in X 0 to 10 are there. So we have to leave these 2, 3, 1, and we have to write the remaining values of main set, that is 0, 1, 2 is there, 2, 3 no, 4, sorry, 1 will also not come here. So 0, 1, 2, 3 no, 0, 4, then 5, 6, sorry, here I will write it clearly. A complements is equal to, yes, 0 is not there in A, so let me write 0. Remember, it is there in the main set, it is not there in the subset. And 1, it is there in A, 2 is there, 3 is there. So next I will write 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Yes, this is A complements. Then next we have to find A complements intersection B. A complements intersection B. It means intersection means we have to find the common numbers. Yes, A complements values are 0, 4, pi, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and B values are 4, pi, 6. Yes, 4 is there in A complement also, it is there in B also. So let me write 4. Then 5 is there in A complements also, it is there, and B also there. 6 is, it is also there in both the sets. So the answer is 4, pi, 6. It is option A. Yes, I hope you came to know how to calculate probability. Yes, let us move to the question number 30. Let y is equal to a k alpha L beta be the Cobb-Douglas production function. When does this function exhibit constant returns to scale? The answer is option A, alpha is equal to beta, option B, alpha plus beta is equal to 1, option C, alpha plus beta is equal to 0, option D, alpha plus beta is lesser than 1. When there is constant returns to scale in Cobb-Douglas production function, the value of alpha and beta will be equal to 1 only. So option B is the right answer. Question number 31. Yes, you can calculate it later on. 31, let me tell you the answer. The answer will be option B here. Yes. Next question number 32. Deficit on the balance of payments accounts can be corrected through. Yes, how we are going to correct the deficit balance of payments. Yes, balance of payments means, you know, it shows the record of all the exports and imports. Okay, then okay, first option 1 is demonetization, option B nationalization of industries, C third one is exchange control, fourth one is import quotas. Yes, how we are going to control the balance of payment deficit, that is by exchange control, and also we are going to put import quotas 3 and 4. So here the right answer is option B, 3 and 4 is the correct answer. Next question, next 33. This financial institution was established in 1930. Its activities were taken up by the International Monetary Fund in 1945. It may lend to the central banks in the world that are its members. This description refers to. Yes, yes, this is established in the year of 1930. Yes, Bank of Industry International Settlements. This established in the year of 1930, and its activities were taken by the IMF in the year of 1945. It may lend to the central bank. So here the right answer is option A, Bank of International Settlements. So Bank of International Settlement is the correct answer. It was founded in the year of 1930. And it can lend to central bank. Yes, question number 34. Council of Mutual Economic Assistance, CMEA, is an organization of dash countries. Option A, developing, option B, Soviet Union and its allies, option C, African, option D, South American. Yes, here the right answer is option B. CMEA, Council for Mutual Economic Assistance. It is an organization of Soviet Union and its allies. Yes, and please remember CMEA, the headquarters of CMEA is in Russia. Okay, the headquarters of CMEA is in Russia, and it's formed in the year of 1949. Yes, CMEA formed in the year of 1949, and also it dissolved in the year of 1991. Please remember. Yes, this is the forming year 1949, and it is dissolving year. Yes, the next question is question number 35. If the purchasing power parity prevails absolutely in two country world, the real exchange rate between two countries should be 1. Constantly rising, relatively stable but not constant, relatively unstable. Yes, here the right answer is option A, 1 is the correct answer, because if the purchasing power parity prevails absolutely in two countries world, the real exchange rate between two countries will be 1 only. And purchasing power parity theory, you know, it is going to compare currencies of the different countries. Next question number 36. Exchange rate that is determined by unregulated forces of supply and demand are option A fixed exchange rate. In fixed exchange rate, the central authority, the government will fix the exchange rate, and in floating exchange rate, the exchange rate will be fixed by the market forces, that is by the supply and demand. So option B is the right answer. Okay, managed floating means it is a mixture of both fixed and floating. Question number 37, the optimum tariff is, yes, let me move to the answer directly. The right answer is option B here. Yes, option B is the correct answer. Optimum tariff means that maximize the net benefit resulting from the improvement in nation's terms of trade. Yes, optimum tariff means it is going to improve the terms of trade. Again, the negative effect resulting from the reduction in the volume of trade. Yes, question number 38. Yes, this institution began its operation in 1947. This institution promotes exchange rate stability. This institution was set up after Bretton Woods Conference. The right answer is option A, International Monetary Fund. Option B, International Bank for Reconstruction and Development, IBRD. Option C, Bank of International Settlements. Option D, International Finance Corporation. Yes, here the right answer is option A, IMF. Yes, International Monetary Fund, it founded in the year of 1947, and it will promote exchange rate stability, and also this institution was set up after Bretton Woods Conference. And where is the headquarters of IMF? This is in Washington DC. Please remember, I hope you know, this is in Washington DC, and there are 190 countries are there in IMF. The member countries of IMF are 190. And it was founded in the year of 1945. Yes, IMF founded in the year of 1945. Question number 39. Which of the following does not match? Yes, which of the following does not match? Option A, Food and Agricultural Organization, Rome. Option B, United Nations Fund for Population Activities, New York. Option C, Bank for International Settlement, London. Option D, International Monetary Fund, Washington DC. Yes, question number 39, the right answer is option C here, because Bank for International Settlement, yes, the headquarters is not London, it is Switzerland. Yes, it is in Basel, Switzerland. So the London is wrong here, it is in Basel. Yes, question number 40. Which of the following international financial institution provides soft loans window from which developing countries can borrow in hard currencies? International Development Agency. Option B, International Monetary Fund. Option C, International Finance Corporation. Option D, International Bank for Reconstruction and Development. Yes, here the right answer is option A, International Development Agency. Yes, it provides soft loan window. Okay, so the right answer is International Development Agency, and it was founded in the year of 1960. Please remember, IDA founded in the year of 1960, and there are 173 member countries are there in International Development Agency. 173 member countries are there, and also the headquarters is in Washington DC. Yes, the next question is, devaluation can lead to. Yes, what do you mean by devaluation? Devaluation means, devaluation means it is the deliberate downward adjustment of the country's currency compared to the other countries. And devaluation can lead. Option A, stimulation in nations exports and discouragement in its imports. Option B, stimulation of nations imports and discouragement of its exports. Option C, discouragement of both import and export. Option D, stimulation of both imports and exports. Yes, these two options are wrong only. Yes, now the right answer is option A is the correct answer here. Stimulation of nations exports and discouragement its import. And when devaluation takes place, what will happen? Exports will increase and imports will decrease. See, for an example, now 70 rupees is equal to $1. This is the exchange rate. 70 rupees is equal to $1. This is the exchange rate now. Okay. When India will devaluate its currency, yes, it will make 80 rupees is equal to $1. It means the value of the currency is devalued here. Now Indians, if Indians wants to purchase the goods from America, then they have to pay more amount here. Previously they used to pay only 70, now they have to pay 80 rupees. So what will happen? Discouragement to import. People will import less. But previously Americans, they used to get 70 rupees goods for $1. Now they are getting 80 worth of 80 rupees goods for $1. So exports will increase here. So option is the right answer. 42. The government budget is a record of dash during a period of time. Option A, actual revenues and actual expenditures. Option B, an estimation of revenues and expenditures. Option C, an estimation of the cost of public borrowings and government expenditure. No, this you can eliminate here. Option D, an estimation of cost of public goods and cost infrastructure. Then this also you can eliminate here. The government budget, it is a record of an estimation of revenues and expenditure. So here option B is the correct answer. Yes, as you all know about the government budget, budget shows the revenues and expenditure of the government. It shows the estimated revenue and estimated expenditure of the government. So option B is the correct here. So let us move to the question number 43. Tax expenditure are, okay, what do you mean by tax expenditure? Tax expenditure means option A, revenue foregone due to concession and exemptions in a tax. Option B, expenditure incurred for collecting the taxes. Option C, expenditure incurred by public on tax payment. Option D, expenditure incurred by industries on tax payments. But friends, which is the right answer here? Tax expenditure means, first let us understand what do you mean by tax expenditure. Tax expenditure means when the government is going to reduce the tax. Yes, if tax is reduced for the motive, for the maybe for the motive of the social welfare, yes, then what will happen? The tax provisions, yes, means the tax collecting department, they are going to their revenue will also decrease. So it is known as the tax expenditure. Okay, these are the revenue losses to the tax department. So here the right answer is option A, revenue foregone due to concession and exemption in tax. So option A is the correct answer. When the tax provisions will reduce the tax, it is going to reduce the revenue of that department. So it is known as the tax expenditure. Please remember it. Here all the options will seem correct only, but the right answer is revenue foregone due to concession and exemptions of tax. Please don't feel confusion. It is not expenditure. Yes, please remember tax expenditure means it is not an expenditure, it is the revenue loss to the department due to decreasing the tax rate. Yes, question number 44. Yes, non-tax revenues are, yes, what do you mean by non-tax revenues? These are the income, yes, these are the income earned by the other sources, that is other than the tax revenue, such as pine, okay, okay, pine is an example for the non-tax revenue, and also dividends. Okay, then dividends, then the government profit. Yes, the okay profit. Then also PSUs. These are the examples for non-tax revenue. Non-tax revenues are shared by the government. Sorry, shared by the states. Option B, collected by firms. Option C, collected by exporters. Option D, byproducts of government activities. So here the right answer is non-tax revenues are byproducts of government activity. Yes, please remember it. The right answer is option D, byproducts of government activity. Question number 45, lifetime welfare of an individual. Yes, Option A can be quantified only in some cases. Option B can be quantified. Option C cannot be quantified. Option D cannot be imagined. Yes, what do you mean by welfare? Welfare means okay, when the people are consuming various goods and services, yes, their welfare will increase. It means welfare means how the people are living here. Yes, what is the standard of living of the people? And for answer for this question is welfare cannot be quantified in some cases. Yes, cannot it okay. We are unable to quantify the welfare level in exact way. So it is cannot be quantified. Lifetime welfare cannot be quantified. In some cases we can calculate it for fixed period, but in lifetime we can't calculate the welfare. Question number 46. Consumers welfare declines. Yes, consumers welfare declines due to collusion of firms, increase in consumption, increase in asset holding, freedom of expression. Consumer welfare, when the consumer welfare is going to decline. Yes, if the consumption increases, if the consumption increases, consumer welfare will also increase. Yes, when consumption increases, welfare increases. When asset holding increases, when asset of the people increases, consumption also okay. Then welfare also increases. If we are having freedom of expression, then also welfare will increase. So when in oligopoly, when the firms are colluding, when the collusion will take place, what will happen? They will increase the price. Yes, when price increases, the demand will decrease. When people are not demanding more and more goods, their welfare will decrease. So here the right answer is option A is the correct answer. Collusion of firms. Okay, question number 47. If we sum up present time welfare of all consumers, we dash can decide public policy. Option B can get welfare of society. Option C cannot get aggregate welfare of society. Option D can decide foreign policy. Yes, friends, here the questions are also there in Marathi. As you all know, in Maharashtra side, the questions will be in English and also in Kannada. We can stop the video and you can read the questions in Marathi. Yes, here the right answer is option C, cannot get aggregate welfare of society. Please remember it. If we sum up present time welfare of all the consumers, we won't get aggregate welfare of the society. So option C is the correct answer. Next, question number 48. The concept of consumer welfare is option A subjective, option B objective, option C negative, option D positive. Yes. Is it possible to measure the welfare in numbers? No, we can't. So it is a subjective factor. So option A is the correct answer. Next option, question number 49. Market regulation is required because option A, firms tend to collide. Option B, firms provide welfare facilities to workers with each other. Option C, firms reduce the cost of goods. Option D, firms provide variety to consumers. Yes, here the right answer is okay. Why market regulation is required? What do you mean by market regulation? Market regulation means where the government or other organization, okay, where the government or other organization, they are going to control the market. Yes, they are going to control the market forces such as demand and supply. Yes, here the government or any other authority will control the market. They will control the market forces such as demand and supply. It is known as the market regulation. Why it is necessary? Because firms tend to collide. Yes, when firms are colliding, they will increase the price, and when they are going to increase the price, the consumer welfare will decrease. Yes, consumers will be okay, consumers have to sacrifice their surplus here, so the welfare will decrease. So to avoid this, market regulation is necessary. So option A is the correct answer. I hope it is clear to you. Let us move to the question number 50. Yes, here the question number 50 is, which one of the following is not a discretionary stabilizer? Option A, implementation of widow pension scheme. Option B, employment guarantee scheme. Option C, unemployment insurance. Option D, shrinking of private incomes. Yes, which is not discretionary stabilizer. Here the right answer is option D, shrinking of private income. It is not a discretionary stabilizer. Question number 50. To enter set of Pareto optimal allocation. Yes, friends, in this question paper, so many questions are there from welfare economics. Okay, very important topic it is. Many questions we have seen from welfare economics. So the entire set of Pareto optimal allocation in Edgeworth box is called option A, contract curve. Option B, supply curve. Option C, demand curve. Option D, Edgeworth curve. Yes, which is the right answer here? I hope. Let me try to draw the Edgeworth box. Yes, this is the Edgeworth box. This is the origin of person A. This is the origin of person B. Okay, let us. This is the origin of person A, and this is the indifference curve 1 for consumer A. This is the indifference curve for 2 for consumer for person B. This is the indifference curve for isoquant, and this is for B. This is for B. These are the isoquants. Sorry, not indifference curve. These are the isoquants, and this is for person B. This is for person A. Here the entire set of Pareto optimal allocation in the Edgeworth box is called. And friends, when we join all these points, yes, when we are going to join all these points, we will get a curve. This curve is known as the contract curve. Okay, and all the points on the contract curve, yes, means these points, all the points on the contract curve where indifference curves of different these isoquants of different producers are tangent to each other. Yes, these points, all the points on the contract curve are optimal allocation. So optimal allocation in the Edgeworth box is called contract curve. So option A is the correct answer. Yes, let us move to the next question. Question number 52. Which of the following does not accrue non-tax revenue to the government? Option A, common property resources. Option B, natural resources to which private property rights are not assigned. Option C, assets created from government investment. Option D, surcharge. Yes, which of the following does not accrue non-tax revenue? Non-tax revenue means it is the income earned by the government from other than the tax. Here, which is not non-tax revenue? Surcharge is not the non-tax revenue. Yes, what do you mean by surcharge then? Surcharge, it is an extra tax. Yes, it is also the form of tax only. It is an extra tax. Please remember. So, surcharge, it is an extra tax that is added on the cost of goods and services. So, it is also comes under the tax revenue, not under the non-tax revenue. And common property resources, natural resources, assets created from government investment, these are all come under the non-tax revenue. In previous question, in previous questions also the question was there, which non-tax revenue. So these are the non-tax revenues. Question number 53. Government policies are option A, always Pareto optimal. Option B, never Pareto optimal. Option C, sometimes Pareto optimal. Option D, rarely Pareto optimal. Yes, friends, as you all know, government policies are never for Pareto optimal. It is very difficult to satisfy the Pareto conditions. Yes, there are 3 conditions are there, as you all know. Okay, yeah, but government policies are never Pareto optimal. Question number 54. The Consolidated Fund of India is formed and the Contingency Fund of India is established as per the article numbers dash and dash of the Constitution of respectively. Yes, the right answer is option C. Please remember this. 2. Consolidated Fund of India is formed under the article 266 and Contingency Fund of India established under the article 267. Question number 55. The difference between narrow money and broad money is option A, the treatment of cash and bank money, option B, the treatment of coinage and currency notes, option C, the treatment of demand deposits with banks, option D, the treatment of time deposits with banks. Yes, the right answer is option D here. The treatment of time deposits with banks. It is the main difference between narrow money and broad money. And you know all the four types of money according to RBI: M1, M2, M3 and N4. Many times questions have arisen on these topics. M1 means M1 includes currency with the public plus demand deposits. So the CU plus DD plus OD. Okay, CU plus DD plus OD. CU means currency held by the public. DD means demand deposits with commercial bankings. OD means other deposits with RBI. And M2 formula, please remember all these: M1, M2, M3, M4, very important. M1 plus, okay, in M2, M1 plus post office saving deposits. Only saving deposits are included here. M2 is equal to POSBD, post office saving deposits. M3 is equal to M1 plus M1 plus time deposits. Okay, M3 is equal to M1 plus time deposits in banks. Then last one, M4 is equal to M1 plus all deposits in post office saving banks, all deposits in POSBD. So please remember all these four formulas. Every year question will arise on this topic. So let us move to the question number 56. The reserve money means. Yes, question number 56. The reserve money means. Friends, if you know the reserve money means reserve money shows it is the currency held by the people and also with the RBI. So it is also known as the central bank money. It is also known as the monetary base money, and it is also known as the high powered money. So reserve money formula is currency in the circulation plus demand deposits of commercial banks with RBI. Here cash held by the public and the banks. No, it also includes deposits of the commercial banks in the RBI. Cash held by the government. No, cash held by the reserve bank. No, saving with the people. No, this. Okay, friends. Question number 56. There is no correct answer here. Okay, reserve money means currency held by the public plus currency held by the public plus deposits of commercial banks with RBI. So it represents with RBI. It represents reserve money here. Reserve money means currency in the circulation plus demand deposits of commercial banks with RBI. There is no correct answer in question number 56. Yes, question number 57. If any person contravenes any provision of APMA, PEMA 1998, he shall be liable to penalty up to. Yes friends, in this question also there is no correct option. Equal the sum involved in such contravention, twice the sum involved in such contravention, 4 times the sum involved in such contravention, half the sum involved in the contravention. So friends, if you read about PEMA, Foreign Exchange Management Act, please remember Foreign Exchange Management Act. If you go through it, you will come to know there is no correct answer in these options. Question number 58. As per the directives of RBI, the priority sector lending of the commercial banks should constitute dash of aggregate bank credit. Yes, the right answer is option C, that is 40%. Please remember it. Question number 59. The commercial banks adopted service area approach in the year dash. Yes, the right answer is option 59. Yes, friends, service area approach. Yes, service area approach means, what do you mean by service area approach? Service area approach, it is each bank in a rural or semi-urban, yes, they are designated to serve 15 to 25 villages. Please remember 15 to 20. Each bank, yes, have to take 15 to 25 villages, and they have to work for the development of these villages. They will take rural or semi-urban. Please remember rural or semi-urban. Rural or semi-urban. Okay, rural or semi-urban. And question number 59 also, the commercial banks adopted the service area approach in the year of. Yes, there is no correct answer for this question. So please you can check when the service area approach in the service area approach adopted by the banks. I think, okay, let me check. Yes friends, one second. Service area approach adopted in which year? Let's check. And friends, please solve all the question papers. If you are appearing for UGC NET or also KSET or MSET, it is very necessary to solve to minimum 3 years question papers. You have to solve. Okay, so service area approach. Okay, please here service area approach adopted in the year of 1989. Okay, service area approach adopted in the year of 1989, but in this option 1989 is not there. 1988 is there, so service area adopted in the year of 1989. So none of the options are correct here. Next, let us move to the question number 60. Question number IFCI, Industrial Finance Corporation of India, ICICI Industrial Credit Investment. What is the full form of ICICI? Industrial Credit Investment Corporation of India. IDBI, Industrial Development Bank of India. SIDBI, Small Industrial Development Bank of India. Established here, the right answer here is question number 60. The right answer is option B. Yes, IFCI established in the year of 1948. Please remember, ICICI we know it has been established in the year of 1955. IDBI in the year of 1964. SIDBI in the year of 1990. So the right answer is option B here. Yes, question number 61. The certificate of deposits were started in Indian money in which year? Option A 2001, option B 1969, option C 1991, option D 1989. Yes, certificate of deposits. Yes, these deposit certificates are started in India in the year of 1989. Yes, please remember. Okay, service area approach also started in the year of 1989, and deposit certificates are also started in the year of 1989. You can remember easily. Yes, next question number 62. Which of the following is not a feature of underdeveloped money market? Yes, which is not the characteristic of underdeveloped money market? Option A, existence of unorganized sector. Option B, inadequate funds. Option C, uniform rate of interest. Lack of sub markets. If you read the questions, very easy question, you will come to know. Existence of unorganized sector, inadequate of funds, lack of sub market, these are all characteristics of underdeveloped money market. But uniform rate of interest, it is not the characteristic of underdeveloped money market. Question number 63. The basic two types of lease are, namely option A, finance lease and operating lease. Option B, short term lease and long term lease. Option C, domestic and cross border lease. Option D, financial and non financial lease. Yes, the two types of lease are, one is finance lease and second one is operating lease. Please remember, not short term and long term, not domestic and cross border, not financial and non financial. Two types of lease are finance lease and operating lease. Yes, question number 64. The first commercial bank in India which started merchant banking was. Yes friends, I hope you know the meaning of merchant banking. Merchant banking means it is a financial institution and it will work to conduct the loan, service, finance, fundraising for the large corporation. Yes, merchant banking means these are the some financial institutions, but these are going to raise the fund, these are going to give financial advice. These merchant banks are working for the large corporation. Yes, this is adopted by first by Bank of India, Punjab National Bank, National and Grindlays Bank, State Bank of India. The right answer is option C, National and Grindlays Bank. Please remember, merchant banking was first adopted by National and Grindlays Bank. Question number 65. Which of the following statement is correct? Reserve Bank of India was established in 1937. Reserve Bank of India was nationalized in 1969. As per section 22 of RBI Act, the bank has exclusive right to issue notes in country. C.D. Deshmukh was the first governor of RBI. Which is the correct here? A, B, C, D, 4 options are given here. Friends, as you all know, Reserve Bank of India was established in the year of 1935. April 1st, 1935. Please remember, RBI established in the year of 1935, 1st April. So this statement is wrong. Reserve Bank of India was nationalized in the year of 1969. No, Reserve Bank of India established in the year of 1949. Yes, 1st January 1949, Reserve Bank has been nationalized. So this is also wrong. Then then third statement, as per section 22 of RBI Act, the bank has exclusive right to issue notes in the currency. Yes friend, this is correct. And let us see fourth one. C.D. Deshmukh was the first governor of RBI. No, the first governor of RBI was Absarni, ABSORNE Smith. Absarni Smith was first governor of RBI. So here the right answer is 3. So option D is the correct here. Only third statement is correct. Next, question number 66. The lead banking scheme. Yes, lead bank scheme in India was implemented as per the suggestions by. Okay, lead bank scheme was implemented in the year of 1969. Please remember, lead bank scheme was implemented in the year of 1969 on the suggestions D.R. Gadgil. Please remember, option C, D.R. Gadgil is the correct answer. Question number 67. The ratio of female to male HDI is known as. Yes, 67. The ratio of female to male HDI, Human Development Index, is known as option A sex ratio, option B gender development index, gender inequality index, gender related developments. So here the right answer is gender development index, GDI, because it will measure the gender equality. So GDI introduced in the year of 1995. Okay, question number 68. Schumpeter believed in the existence of dash in economic activity. Yes, I hope you know about the Schumpeter theory of trade cycle. Yes, Schumpeter believed in the existence of dash in economic activities. Great Depression, no. J.M. Keynes. Built-in stability, no. Inflation, no. The right answer is option B, contractive cycles. Yes, according to Schumpeter, Schumpeter believed in the existence of contractive cycles. So option B is the correct answer. And 4 pages of contractive cycles are: one is prosperity, second one is recession, third one is depression, fourth one is recovery. Prosperity, recession, depression, recovery. These are the 4 phases of contractive cycles according to Schumpeter. Question number 69. Full employment ceiling in Harrod's growth model is explained as: option A steady growth, option B maximum growth, option C limit to business cycles in upward direction, option D limit to business cycle in downward direction. Yes, full employment ceiling in Harrod's growth model is explained as, yes, limit to business cycles in upward direction. Please remember it. Option C is the correct answer. Yes, next question number 70. Yes, quasi bottleneck according to W.A. Lewis. Okay, what do you mean by quasi bottleneck according to Arthur Lewis? High technology, overpopulation, capital accumulation, skilled labor. So first let us see what do you mean by quasi bottleneck. Quasi bottleneck means it is given by Arthur Lewis, and it means that he argued that skilled laborers are who the laborers who are having skills, the people who are having good working skills, the skilled laborers are like quasi bottleneck. It means that these skilled laborers can be removed by giving training to the unskilled labor. Yes, when unskilled laborers are trained, yes, they can also work more, they will also learn the skills, and when the unskilled laborers are trained here, the skilled laborers will be removed from the work. So it is known as the quasi bottleneck. So the answer is option D, skilled labor. Yes, let us move to the next question. Is question number 71. Match the following schemes for development and their launching years: Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, Extended Midday Meal Scheme, Jawaharlal Nehru National Urban Renewal Mission, Indira Mahila Yojana. Year 2007, 2005, 1995, 2001. Yes, the right answer is option A is the correct year. Yes, A is 4, means Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan. Yes, Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan is launched in the year 2001. Yes, please remember Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan. It is launched in the year of 2001. Yes, then B is 1. B is 1 means 2007. Yes, extended midday meal scheme. Extended midday meal scheme established or launched in the year of 2007. Then C is 2. That is 2005. Yes, Jawaharlal Nehru National Urban Renewal Mission launched in the year of 2005. Then Indira Mahila Yojana in the year of 1995. Yes, question number 72. Which of the following is not an important reform adopted by the government of India after 2014? Option A, deregulation of diesel prices, financial inclusion program, direct transfer of gas subsidy, structural change in agriculture and rural economy. Yes, which is the right answer here? Which of the following is not an important reform adopted by government of India after 2014? Yes, deregulation of diesel prices after 2014 only, financial inclusion program, direct transfer of gas subsidy after 2014. But this structural change in agriculture and rural economy, it is not after the 2014, so it is correct answer. Question number 73. Levinston theory of growth supports which of the other two development theories? Yes, for which are the two theories Levinston is going to support? Balanced and big push theory, Levy's theory and balanced growth theory, Mead theory and balanced growth theory, Solo's model and big push theory. Yes, the right answer is 73. Option A is the correct answer. Yes, Levinston will support balanced growth theory and big push theory. And who you know who has given the balanced growth theory? Ragnar Nurkse. Okay, Ragnar Nurkse has given the balanced growth theory, and big push theory was given by Rosenstern Rodan. Okay. Question number 74. Which of the following is not a criticism on Pairani's theory of development? Option A, neglects changes in land supply in long run. Option B, neglects industrial sector. Option C, assumes closed economy. Option D, assumes wage rate above MRP. Assumes wage rate above MPP. Yes, the right answer is option B, neglects industrial sector. Yes, this is not a criticism, because Pairani will not neglect the industrial sector. Question number 75. A technological change in the economy is said to be neutral when option A, it happens without any new investments. Option B, it does not affect the production. Option C, it is both capital saving and labor saving. Option D, it is neither capital saving nor labor saving. Yes, a technological change in the economy is said to be neutral. Yes, when the technological change is neutral in the economy, if it is neither capital saving nor labor saving, then technological saving change is neutral. So option D is the correct answer. Question number 76. The Global Hunger Index, that is GHI, in India in 2017 was at dash rank. Yes, what is the rank of GHI for India in 2018? The rank is 103rd rank. 77. An important feature of the neoclassical growth model is that, yes, neoclassical growth model is that option A, invariably incorporate population factor in explaining growth. Option B, they focus on backward economies. Option C, they focus on change in technology in economy. Option D, they take into account only agricultural sector. Yes, which is the right here? Important feature of neoclassical growth model. Yes, the right answer is option A. They invariably incorporate population factor in explaining the growth. This is the main feature of neoclassical theory. Question number 78. Which of the following criterion for development has been put forward by A.K. Sen? social marginal productivity criterion, reinvestment criterion, time series criterion, income criterion. Yes, which one is used by AK Sen here? The right answer is option C. Time series criterion was used by AK Sen. Question number 79. A live table can be constructed for a country and an area on the basis of sex, occupation, and race. Yes, it is correct about the live table. I think live table can be constructed for a country. Yes, and an area on basis of sex, occupation, and race. Yes, this is correct statement here. Then the cohort or generation life table summarizes the age specific mortality experience of the given birth cohort of its life. This is also correct here. So let us see the options. Both are correct here. So option B, statement 1 and 2 both are correct here. Yes, option B is the right answer for question number 79. Option B is the right. Both the statement are correct. Let us move to the question number 80. Access to the broadcast signal from a radio station is access to the broadcast signal from a radio private good, but the station itself is a public. No, this is wrong. Okay, because it is a public good. Yes, access to the broadcast signal, it is a public good. Option A, a public good, but the station itself is a private good. Yes, access to broadcast signal. Yes, everyone can access it, so it is a public good, and the radio station, it is a private good. Yes, the option B is the correct answer. Both radio station and broadcast signals private, no, wrong. Both this is also wrong, because radio station is not public good, but access to radio signal, broadcast signal, it is a public good. Question number 81. Due to urbanization, which one of the following changes we get to see? Yes, due to urbanization. Yes, when all the people from rural areas, they are moving to the urban areas, it is known as the urbanization. And changes we get to see: decreased arithmetic density but increased physiological density. Option B, decreased both arithmetic and physiological density. No. Increased arithmetic density but decreased physiological density. No. Increased both arithmetic and physiological densities. Yes, this is correct here. Due to urbanization, both arithmetic and physiological densities will increase. Densities of urban areas is going to increase. So option D is the right one. Yes, question number 82. Which one of the following is not a market failure? It's very easy question. Asymmetric information, monopolies, externalities, then economies of scale. Yes, asymmetric information, one party is having higher knowledge than the other. This is the cause for the market failure. Monopolies, only one seller is controlling the whole market. This is also cause for the market failure. Externalities also cause for the market failure, but economies of scale, this is not a cause for the market failure. So option D is the right answer. Question number 83. Which is the least urbanized state in India as per 2011 census? The answer is Himachal Pradesh. Option C is the right answer. Himachal Pradesh is the least urbanized state in India according to the 2011 census. Question number 84. Which of the following determines the bargaining between those who perpetrate pollution and those who suffer from such pollution with property rights, determining the outcome of that bargain? Yes, Pigovian tax, Coase theorem, tradable permits, first law of thermodynamics. Yes, here the right answer is yes. Which of the following determines bargaining between those who are the reason for population, those who are polluting, and those who are suffering from that pollution? Yes, it is discussed in the Coase theorem. Yes, the right answer is option B, Coase theorem. Question number 85. The part of Earth's surface that is physically suitable for permanent human settlement is known as. Yes, the part of Earth's surface that is physically suitable for permanent human settlement is known as. The ecumen, ecosystem, ecosphere, biosphere. Yes, the right answer is option A, the ecumen. Rahivas Pradesha. Okay, the ecumen, Rahivas Pradesh. Question number 86. Which of the following is not a greenhouse gas? Yes, CO2, SO2, water vapor, H2S. Yes, yeah, very easy question. The carbon dioxide, SO2 and water vapor, these are the greenhouse gases, but H2S, this is not a greenhouse gas. So option D is the right answer. Question number 87. What does NPP stands for? Yes, NPP stands for National Population Policy. Yes, NPP means National Population Policy. Please remember. Question number 88. As per World Resource Institution, which country pollutes our atmosphere more than the other countries? Yes, option A China, option B Canada, option C India, option D Australia. Yes, the right answer is option A China. Yes, I hope you know it. As per World Resource Institution, China is going to pollute our atmosphere more than the other countries. Yes, question number 89. The base year for wholesale price index has shifted to dash against earlier 2004 and 5. So earlier WPI base year was 2004 and 5. Now it is shifted to 2011 and 12. Yes, question number 90. As per Global Gender Gap Report, SGGI, Global Gender Gap Report 2018, match the countries with their rank. Yes, countries are Pakistan, India, Nepal and Sri Lanka, rank 108, 148, 100, 105. Yes, here the right answer is option D is the correct answer. Yes, option D means A is 2, Pakistan rank is 148, then India's rank is 108, then Nepal's rank is 105, then Sri Lanka's rank is 100. Yes, the next question, question number 91. Which state has the highest share in the loan disbursement under Mudra scheme since its inception? Option A Tamil Nadu, option B Karnataka, option C Maharashtra, option D Uttar Pradesh. Yes, I hope you know about the Mudra scheme. Mudra stands for Micro Units Development Refinance Agency Limited. Yes, micro, please remember, Micro Units Development Refinance Agency. And when it started in the year of 2015. Yes, Mudra started in the year of 2015 by the Prime Minister, and it will give loans up to 10 lakh. Yes, this you have to remember. Mudra gives loan up to 10 lakhs. Okay, and it gives loans to the commercial banks. Yes, Mudra will give loans to commercial banks. Then it also gives loans to the RRBs. Yes, and okay, it gives loans to commercial bank, and then it gives loans to RRBs. It will give loans to the small finance banks, to MFI. And there are three products are there in Mudra. One is Shishu. Yes, first one is Shishu. Under Shishu, the Mudra, the people can get loan up to 50,000. Okay, the second one is Shishu Kishore. Yes, under Kishore the loan limit is from above the 50,000 up to 5 lakh. The second one is Kishore. Yes, the loan limit is above the 50,000 and up to 5 lakh. And the third one is Tarun. Yes, under Tarun the people can get loan from 5 lakh to from above the 5 lakh and up to 10 lakh. So here 91, which state has the highest share in the loan disbursement under Mudra scheme since inception is option A Tamil Nadu is the correct answer. Please remember. Okay, the question number 92. Angel tax refers to. Yes, what do you mean by angel tax? Angel tax. Yes, angel tax means it is a tax on the funds. Yes, it is a tax on the funds raised by the startups if they exceed the fair market value. Yes, when these startups are going to exceed the fair market value, yes, then on this the government will put the angel tax. So here the right answer is option is startups. Angel tax refers to startup. Next question number 93. Zero defect, zero effect is the mantra of Ministry of Heavy Industries, Ministry of Food Processing, Ministry of Textile, Ministry of MSMEs. Yes, zero defect and zero effect. It is the scheme. It is the scheme. This scheme is going to promote the zero defect and zero effect in manufacturing among MSME. Please remember, this scheme is for MSME. Okay, and what do you mean by zero defect and zero effect here? Here zero defect means, yes, zero defect means the product, yes, whatever the products the are producing in MSME, the quality of the products has to be high. Yes, yeah, zero defect means the quality of the product is high. Okay, high quality of products should be produced. And zero defect means while producing the goods there should be no harm to the environment. Yes, there should be no harm to the environment. And zero defect and zero effect, it is the mantra of Ministry of MSME. Question number 94. Match the following: Make in India, Digital India, Skill India, Startup. Yes, here the right answer is question number 94. So the right answer is option C. Option C is the right answer. Yes, first one is 3. Yes, Make in India. Yes, Make in India, it started in the year on September 25, 2014. Yes, Make in India started on September 25, 2014. B is 2. Digital India. Okay, Digital India is started on 1st July 2015. Then C is 1. Skill India. Yes, Skill India is started on Skill India started on July 15, 2015. And Startup. Yes, Startup is started on January 16, 2016. Yes, remember it. Make in India is started on September 25, 2014. Digital India is started on July 1st, 2015. Skill India is started on July 15, 2015. Startup India is started on January 16, 2016. Yes, question number 95. International Debt Statistics Report is annually published by. Yes, option A, Asian Development Bank. Option B, World Bank Group. Option C, International Monetary Fund. Option D, World Economic Forum. Yes, it is published by World Bank Group. Yes, please remember, International Debt Statistics. Yes, it is published by the World Bank Group, and it shows the external debt and financial flows. Yes, it shows the external debt and also financial flows of the 128 countries. Yes, financial flow of how many countries? Of 128 countries. Please remember it. And there are more than 200 indicators are there of 128 countries, and there are more than 200 indicators are there in international debt statistics. Question number 96. Which one of the following publishes annually economic survey of India? Yes, annually economic survey of India. It is detailed report of the country's economic performance during the past year. Yes, and this annual economic survey of India published by Department of Revenue, Department of Economic Affairs, Department of Financial Services. Option D, Niti Aayog. Yes, as you all know, it is published by the Department of Economic Affairs. Yes, please remember which one of annual economic survey is published by Department of Economic Affairs. Yes, question number 97. National Urban Livelihood Mission NULM was launched on dash in India. Yes, National Urban Livelihood Mission NULM and it comes under the housing and urban affairs. Please remember it. NULM will come under the housing and housing and urban affairs. Please remember, a question may arise from here. It comes under the housing and urban affairs. And what is the main aim of this NULM? To reduce the rural poverty. Yes, to reduce the rural poverty and reducing the vulnerability. It is the main aim of the NULM, and NULM started or launched in the year of 2013 on September 23. Option B is the correct answer. Question number 98. The new youth policy 2014. Yes, the new youth policy 2014 includes youth between the age group of option A 15 to 29, option B 15 to 35, option C 18 to 30, option D 14 to 25. Yes, the new National Youth Policy 2014. It aims to provide an overview of the state of the youth aged between 15 to 29. How many youths are there in our country between 15 and 29? 15 to 29. It will show the youth policy 2014. Question number 99. The term economic convergence refers to. Yes, what do you mean by economic convergence? Yes, here the right answer is less developed countries growing faster than high developed countries. Yes, option A is the right answer here. Economic convergence means, please remember, less developed countries, LDCs, are growing faster than the high developed countries. Yes, the last question, question number 100. The financial year of Reserve Bank of India is option A January to December, option B April to March, option C October to September, option D July to June. Yes, as you all know it, option D July to June is the correct answer. July to June, it is the financial year for RBI. Yes friends, this is about our today's session. And friends, if you want to join our crash course on economics, you can contact us. And in this crash course, we are going to provide you 20 mock tests, and I believe if you attend these 20 mock tests, your confidence level will increase. You will come to know how to attend the examination, from where the questions are arising and all. And also we are providing a PDF solution of all these 20 tests. And also friends, you will get notes on each unit. Yes, we are providing notes on micro, macro, and international trade, growth and development. On all the 10 units, we are going to provide you short notes, which is very helpful for your preparation. With this, we are also providing you 1000 MCQs PDF. On each unit, we are providing you 100 MCQs. So this is about our crash course. With this, we are also we are also providing video lectures through MCQs. Okay friends, thank you very much. I wish all the best to all.